can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of Unfiltered, hosted by Cameron Arndt and I. Today, we're going to be covering Week 2. You know, there's a bunch of crazy things that happened in Week 1, so many outcomes that we didn't expect. And we didn't get to cover the Thursday night game, but man, what a Thursday night, bro. I know you're happy about that.
That was crazy. I actually I was watching with my roommate, and he's a Giants fan.
Oh my god.
And the Dexter Lawrence call, he was screaming when Dustin Hopkins missed it, and you know, my jaw was dropped, and then I was like, flag. But the thing is, I was watching it on the stream because we have like a Roku TV. It was like on the NFL app. And so we're like probably, I'd say like 45 seconds behind, like 2 plays behind, like real time. And I was calling my brother, and he hung up on me because he told me, he was like, you have to watch the game. Like, you need to watch the game. And
so he didn't spoil anything.
Yeah, he didn't spoil anything for me, but I knew something crazy was going to happen. And I was like, I didn't know it was going to be this crazy. But yeah, that's a heartbreaking loss for Giants fans because, I mean, you don't want to go down 0-2 to start the season, especially on games like, you don't want to lose division games, especially ones that you can win against probably a team that, you know, you're going to be competing with the division. And you also, you know, like going in, you'd probably think that like the Broncos is also a winnable game if you're the Giants. Yeah. No offense, but it's just, that's heartbreaking to go 0-2 like that.
Yeah, I wonder how that turned out for them too. So. But yeah, bro, we were in the exact same situation too. Like me and Balaj, we were watching the game, and we were on FaceTime with one of our cousins who's in New Jersey, who's watching the game on his laptop, and it was also delayed. And like when we saw the Heineke, like the 2-play drive that happened, bro, we were screaming too, and he was like, "What happened? What happened?" And we were like, "Bro, Heineke just fucking threw 2 dots, bro, 2 dots."
That was a very impressive drive. That kind of reminded me of like college football. Literally, that drive took all of 17 seconds maybe, because I think J.D. McKissick runs out of bounds, you know, stops the clock, and then he just throws it up to Ricky Seals-Jones.
Ricky Seals-Jones, I didn't even think that man was in the NFL still.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I remember Troy Aikman on the call was like, I like what I'm seeing from like the young tight end. I was like, bro, this dude has been in the league for like a minute now though, like, and he hasn't done anything. But yeah, that is the biggest play of his career. That's probably that was probably the craziest game of the year, and that was probably the best, I think, play of the year, Heineke to Ricky Seals-Jones.
Yeah, dude, each Thursday or each primetime game keeps getting better. Like, first it was the Buccaneers and Cowboys. That was a pretty good game. Mm-hmm. And then the Ravens and Raiders game was just, like, you would never see that happen in any other game. Like, how do the Ravens lose twice in a game, bro? Like, it's crazy. Because, like, did you watch the game?
I did. Yeah. I missed Lamar's fumble in overtime.
Yeah, he fumbled twice in that game. The worst times too.
Constantly.
I
have a lot to say about the Ravens in this episode. I mean, just like from their power ranking position for me, but
same. My power rankings are a lot different than they were last week because now like we actually got like week 1 done.
This is probably the most drastic change that it will be all year.
Yeah, because the pre-power rankings, like pre-week 1 power rankings, they're literally like all over the place, and then week 2 it's like set whoever does the best or whoever just does not. But I'm actually surprised with the Raiders, bro. Like, I was like, oh my god, this team is actually like scary. Like once they have like Derek Carr to like Darren Waller like for like 30 times a game, like it's just crazy.
It is. I think Darren Waller's a fantasy monster. I think you'd rather have him than George Kittle this year, or
Kelsey maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's a significant drop off. You want to get those top 3 guys. I mean, it's nice to have maybe like a TJ Hawkinson or a Logan Thomas, but if you have one of the top 3 guys, like, you're set. That's why tight ends now be going so high. Do you like the PPR format in our league?
I do like it.
It's more high scoring, right?
Yeah, man. Weren't we able to draft like defensive players too? Like, isn't that an option?
You can, but I've never done that before. We can experiment with that.
Yeah,
like,
next year we'll do that. That sounds really cool. But anyways, all right, let's kick it off for week 2. All right, so I actually had Washington win. Like I predicted they would win against the Giants 27-23.
Yeah, I would. I didn't make a score, but because they're my team, I would always pick them to win against the Giants.
For opponents back.
Yeah, so I'll count that too.
Yeah. Plus Daniel Jones, like surprisingly, like he's actually a very good like running quarterback, bro. Like he's like their running back on the team. Not even Saquon can do anything, dude. Like you can clearly see how Saquon has been affected by his ACL tear, bro. Like clearly.
I think I mean, I don't think that it's like, I don't think per se that he's been affected by it. Like he's not as good as he once was. I think he still isn't like where he needs to be 100%. And I just think they're more cautious with him. But I think it is frustrating, like, as I was talking to my roommate, and he was like, as like somebody like Saquon, who was the rookie of the year back in 2019 season, like they used him in like a wide array of uses, and that's what makes him good. But they don't seem to be utilizing that.
Season, so
I think there is something up about his health.
Yeah, dude, they gotta because that's like really crucial for them. That's their that guy represents their whole team as well.
Same with when I saw Dallas play on opening night. Like I was really, it's like not just that they weren't handing it off to Zeke. He wasn't even throwing it to Zeke. Like Dak wouldn't even look his way. It was only Amari Cooper that entire Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb and the occasional Michael Gallup. But yeah, he wouldn't even look. I think Tony Pollard had more catches.
Yeah, like Zeke has been very off lately. I don't know why.
He might be the biggest.
I knew I should not draft. Yeah, I knew I should not have drafted them like in the draft. But anyways, all right. So we got the Raiders at Pittsburgh tomorrow. What do you think about that?
Raiders at Pittsburgh. Let me find that. I have Steelers winning 27-17. I think it's hard for any team to go into Heinz Field and win. I think it'll be a competitive game, but from what that Steelers defense showed everybody, winning, a huge opening week win
very surprising.
Against the Bills in Buffalo.
Exactly.
To keep the Bills at only 16 points or something. Yeah, that's impressive. So, they reminded people that they still have an elite defense that's going to keep them in games. So I have the Steelers winning 27-17.
Yeah, I also have Pittsburgh winning. I think it's going to be a little more close. I think it's going to be 29-26 Pittsburgh, but I definitely think that they'll win this game. All right. Next game we got San Francisco at Philadelphia. Who do you have?
I have. So I've asked one of my suite mates is a Philly fan because he's got family there, even though he's from LA. Which I feel like it would be cooler to be a Chargers fan than a Philly Eagles fan, especially right now. But Rams are boring. Rams have ugly uniforms. And then my other suite mate, both of them are on the soccer team with me, and he's a 49ers fan, even though he lives in Oakland. So like sometimes he'll root for like Las Vegas Raiders, but they've just been talking about this all week. But I have to go with the 49ers. I feel like even though it's in Philly, I have 49ers winning 37-27 because I think the Eagles, I was surprised by that scoreline against the Falcons, but
it's just that the Falcons are bad.
Yeah, the Falcons are bad. They laid an egg. This will be the real test of the Eagles defense because how Kyle Shanahan runs his offense, he's going to throw a whole different type of looks at you. So this will be a real test of them. But I just feel like that's San Francisco is just going to run and throw all over them. So 37-27 49ers.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the San Francisco's running game too, because like Raheem Mostert, he's like out now, like he's injured for the rest of the year. I don't even think Trey Sermon is getting that many snaps, but Elijah Mitchell, he's gonna start for them, and I hope he does good because he's on my fantasy team. So
that's not a bad pick, because like even like you could literally start Raheem Mostert in fantasy even when they had like a running back by committee type of thing, when Tevin Coleman was on the team or Matt Breida. They would still just, because San Francisco is definitely a run heavy offense. So if Raheem Mostert is injured and Trey Sermon's not getting a lot of snaps, Elijah Mitchell is behind that O-line, I think like I can't see him not doing well in fantasy. That might be, there's always a couple steals every year in fantasy. Like
he wasn't even on a roster, bro. I got him from waivers. Like he was I put him in my flex because I have like Kamara and Melvin Gordon as my starting running backs. So.
I remember last year I got really lucky. I picked up Justin Jefferson, I think after week 2. So like there's one every year.
Yeah, he ended up with like 11 touchdowns his rookie year. It's crazy.
Justin Jefferson?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was could have been the rookie of the year, but it's a quarterback sport.
Yeah, so speaking of San Francisco, I also have them winning against Philadelphia 34-24. But yeah, again, like their passing game is like really, really elite right now. I think they'll be fine. And plus, like, I don't even know how Detroit almost came back last week. That was really interesting.
Yeah, Detroit. I honestly think Detroit might have a chance on Monday Night Football. I didn't pick them though. We'll get to that game.
Yeah, with the Jared Goff too. Like I honestly like feel like he belongs in Detroit for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, a lot of people say like the Rams, like, oh, they upgraded so much by Matthew Stafford, which I mean, of course the Rams are going to be like the focus of that trade because no one cares about Detroit because the Rams are actually a legit Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
But that's really not a downgrade if you're Detroit, because it doesn't matter which quarterback you have. You could have Patrick Mahomes for all I care. You're still not going to win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
And plus, this is probably the best years of Jared Goff's career right now. Like that's happening.
He's in his prime.
And like Matthew Stafford, he's not old, but like he's getting like there, like, you know. So yeah, it's definitely not a downgrade. It's definitely like if I was a Detroit fan, I would be happy to have Jared Goff as my quarterback. So
do Detroit fans even exist?
I have no idea.
I don't know any Detroit fans actually.
I think
was there one
Tyler Hannon.
Yeah, I knew there was one kid back home, like from high school that would like wear Detroit. I think it is Tyler.
Yeah, it is. All right, next game. Okay, Houston at Cleveland. I think Cleveland will. I think they're gonna have a bounce back game. I mean, they played very well against Kansas City, even though Kansas City came back and won. I'm gonna say 37-18, Cleveland. I think their defense is very they have a very underrated defense. I think they can definitely get it done in Houston. And their offense is very talented too. Like they played very well. Like if they can play really good against the Chiefs, they can play phenomenal against the Texans. So
I think it's in Cleveland actually.
Yeah, it is
a game.
Yeah.
I also have the Browns winning 34-17. I think it'll be fairly easy. Like bounce back after a really disappointing loss.
Mm-hmm.
I think spirit, like as like team spirit. Like their loss against the Chiefs is going to hurt, especially, you know, meeting them in week 1 after they beat them in what that was, I would say, probably the best playoff game last year. That wasn't the Super Bowl. I mean, the Super Bowl wasn't that great either, but the Cleveland Browns Kansas City divisional round was so good. But
Yeah, that was really
they had him. So I mean, they'll be disappointed with that loss, but I don't think there's really any shame in losing him to the Chiefs. And you'd rather lose now than later in the year, because it's going to be a tight playoff race in the AFC. But I do have the Browns winning this one 34-17.
All right, next game we got Denver at Jacksonville. This is I'm glad that our first 3 games, like I'm not trying to like underestimate the Jaguars, but like I don't need Urban Meyer, dude. He just didn't even know what he was doing against the Texans. Like he passed it like 51 times. He made Trevor Lawrence pass 51 times, which is like ridiculous. Like, I don't like, and plus he came off with like 3 interceptions or something against like Houston.
Yeah, I didn't know he passed for 51 times. Now that you say that, like I remember looking at Trevor Lawrence's stat line, I was like, okay, although he had 3 interceptions, he did throw for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yeah. But if you are throwing it 51 times, that's not like that impressive, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways, you go on.
I think that, I mean, obviously, I have Denver winning this game. I like from last week when Denver played the Giants, I was super happy because, like, it was the first time that I could relax during a Broncos game. Like in the regular season, like seeing the offense play very consistent, the defense play very consistent too. Like they didn't let Saquon do anything. They didn't let the Giants passing game do anything. I do think the Giants have a better passing game than the Jaguars. So that makes me think we shouldn't have a problem tomorrow against the Jaguars. And plus, like the downside though is that Jerry Jeudy got injured. He's out for 6 weeks, unfortunately, because the Giants don't know how to tackle. So, so Jerry Jeudy's out for 6 weeks, and then what's his name? Yeah, so like in his spot, it's gonna be like Tim Patrick or Cortland Sutton, and that's like perfectly fine. Like they're pretty good for Denver, and KJ Hamler as well. So I think we'll be fine. And plus on defense, I think Bradley Chubb might be playing, even though he wasn't playing last week. But man, I'm so glad Von Miller had 2 sacks last week, like in a really good like first game back in like 2 years. So I was really happy about that. But yeah, I have Denver winning 31-17 tomorrow against the Jags.
I like that. I also have Broncos winning 24-13. I think they're really going to shut down Jacksonville's offense. And I think they'll have their way against Jacksonville's defense. I was impressed by Teddy Bridgewater. It was a good all-around performance. Yeah, anytime you have like over 65% completion percentage, 300 or so yards and 3 touchdowns, you got to be happy. They didn't really turn the ball over much, did they? Either.
Yeah, not really. I think they had like 1 fumble or something, but it wasn't big. Actually, no, there was no turnovers. I don't think we had any turnovers. But yeah, man, that completion percentage, I haven't seen that since like Peyton Manning on this team, bro, I swear.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't had somebody who is like a field general and experienced like leader since Peyton Manning, and like it. And he has like the weapons to do it, Teddy. So definitely he should be the starter over Drew Lock. So I'm excited to see where they go. That's one of my surprises. I think after this week, you're gonna have some teams that are gonna be 2-0, which is gonna be a big deal. Like 2 teams that you don't expect, like a few teams that you don't expect them to be. I'll get to the next one, but I think Broncos will be 2-0 after this week.
Yeah. All right, next game, we got New Orleans at Carolina. This is actually pretty interesting, divisional matchup.
Yeah, I really wanted to pick the Panthers on this one, but I just felt like the Saints were gonna do well. Jameis Winston had a great start. I'm glad that Sean Payton and New Orleans coaching staff came to their senses and actually picked somebody who is a real quarterback. How like always people joke that Lamar Jackson is a running back playing quarterback. Those memes. Yeah. Like one, those are of course exaggerations because they're jokes. But if there's anybody who should be like joked about that, it's like Taysom Hill. You know, it's
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
He doesn't seem like a natural back there. Nothing personal on Taysom Hill. I don't know. Just, you have a lot of people who are in their primes, and you want to have somebody under center who knows what they're doing. And Jameis Winston's been in the league long enough that he can still have Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara have really productive years.
Yeah, I don't even think Michael Thomas is playing for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, I picked him up on fantasy in one of my leagues. I was like, yeah, I think he'll be good when he comes back. I mean, it might take him a few weeks, but I felt like it was worth it.
Yeah, that man was my first round pick last year.
Was Zeke your first round pick this year?
No. This year it was Alvin Kamara. Thankfully.
Okay.
Yeah. I would never drop Zeke first.
Zeke first, yeah. I mean, if you had like the 10th, if it was like the 10th pick, or I don't know. Anyways, but I have the Saints winning really close one, 27-25.
27-25. I have a similar score line. I have 20-23 New Orleans. I do like. I feel like the Panthers' defense is actually kind of impressive. I like how they played against the Jets. Like, even though it was a pretty close game, they made that game really interesting. I think they're going to make this game really interesting. But yeah, I still have the Saints winning. All right. What next game do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Bengals at Bears.
Bengals at Bears. Okay.
What you got?
I like the Bengals in this, man. 27-20. I really like how they played against Minnesota. Although like Chicago does have like a better defense than Minnesota, I think that Cincinnati will find a way to like get around it. They have a pretty fast-paced offense. Like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, like they did very well against Minnesota. It's literally like them at LSU, you know. So yeah, I definitely think if that duo can be like they could be like a Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill duo, you know. So
yeah, is Jamar Chase? Oh yeah, Jamar Chase is that fast.
Yeah,
he's not. I mean, Tyreek is faster than anybody, but
of course,
it's kind of unfair to compare Tyreek's speed to anybody's speed.
Of course. I'm just saying that their relationship, like Patrick Mahomes and Hill and Burrow and Chase, like they have a pretty similar relationship in my opinion. Even though I don't think that Mahomes and Hill played in college together. So
no, they didn't. I think I think Tyreek Hill went to some small Division I school. I think it was a historically black college or university. But I also have the Bengals winning. That's my other team, who's like, you're gonna be surprised that they're 2-0 after this week. But the Bears, their defense keeps them in the games, but I feel bad for guys who are like, you know, there's the backups, the perennial backups in the league who are like journeymen, are going to go from team to team, but you know, like they'll have the starting job at the beginning of the year, but you know that by the end they're just not going to have it. And that's exactly the situation that Andy Dalton was in. I felt the same way about Fitzpatrick. I was fine with, I do like Heineke. I think he should have been starting in the first place, but I knew that Heineke would be starting eventually. So same, I think, with like if Gardner Minshew was still at Jacksonville. But I think Jacksonville did the right thing, and Chicago needs to take a hint and just put their guy out there. I don't know how much of a difference 2 or 3 weeks, if you start on week 2 or like week 4 or 5, is gonna make. So, but I do like the Bengals. They did play really well last week. Vikings, you know, they're not that bad of a team, so like it's respectable win. And you know, I'm rooting for Joe Burrow and, you know, his LSU wide receivers that he played with in college. You know, he'll prove people wrong for making fun of Cincinnati for not taking Penei Sewell with their pick and taking a wide receiver instead. But he has the weapons there. Cincinnati's literally college football team from like some of the best players. I mean, Joe Mixon, Oklahoma, and then Joe Burrow, LSU, and whoever you can think of. Is John Ross still on that team? I don't even.
John Ross. I have not heard that name in a while. Let's see. He's on the Giants.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
John Ross. Have you seen the Kadarius Toney memes?
Yeah, man. Like this dude got like they're like you have more receiving yards than Kadarius Toney does. Like that's crazy.
I love how like I'm sure that's happened before in other people's careers, but now just in the age of internet, and it's just he's easy to target because makes it more funny because he was a first round pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff,
like
so.
I don't like, dude. I've never even heard of this guy, and even in like a mock draft or anything like that.
No, yeah, I mean he was. I remember. No, he was. It's because he was overshadowed by Kyle Pitts. He was from Florida, but he was a wide receiver. But everyone was like, "Oh." So, anyways, yeah, I got Bengals winning 26-24. Let's do Rams at Colts.
All right. Geez, man, the Rams are a scary team. Like after like last year, towards the end of the year, when they made the playoffs with that guy, what's his name?
Chase Wolford.
I think it was like
John Wolford.
Yeah, John Wolford. Yeah, that was very surprising. I don't know how they beat the Seahawks, but man, like their team. Like I don't know how Sean McVay does it. Like they had like a lot of injuries towards the end of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
they did.
And like he like Sean McVay did what he could, and ended up making the playoffs and even beating the Seahawks in the wild card round, which we did not expect, right? And this dude, like he's coming back from that Super Bowl loss. This is his year to like prove that, man. Like the Rams are a really scary team. Like after picking up Matthew Stafford in that very impressive game against the Bears, like that guy's there to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Rams will beat the Colts 36-20. I feel like they have a very talented offense and even better defense. So
yeah, I agree. I have the Rams winning 27-17. Poor Colts going to be 0-2 after this week if our predictions are right, which is surprising. I mean, it is not easy because the AFC South, I think they're matched up against the NFC West this year as their non-conference opponents.
Yeah.
So to start out the year against NFC powerhouses like Seattle and Los Angeles, but they played both of them at home. It just, I know the Colts have been dealing with injuries and stuff, but 0-2 won't
and now
be.
they're gonna get Hard Knocks too.
Oh yeah, the in-season thing. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I saw them make that announcement on Thursday Night Football. Anyways, but yeah, I agree. The Rams are scary just because when they made the Super Bowl that year, like that was behind, like Jared Goff, I mean, was good, but it was just from like an all-around good offense, and you had a guy like Todd Gurley. But now you don't need a guy who needs a running back, and you have Matthew Stafford, who's a better passer than Jared Goff, and you have your receivers like Cooper Kupp was injured that season too.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. I'm not even going to mention Higbee. He pisses me off. But those guys are always consistent, and like they look good without Cam Akers. I don't know if Cam Akers is going to be that much. His loss of Cam Akers is going to be a setback for them.
I think Darrell Henderson played.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, Darrell Henderson. He did do good. He's one of these weeks he's going to go off in fantasy, and I know he's going to be on my bench because you just can't start him over somebody else you might have.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rams are scary, so I have them beating the Colts. Let's do Bills at Dolphins. Yeah.
All right, this is going to be actually a very interesting game because Miami barely beat New England, and I do think that, man, New England was like very overrated coming into week 1. I don't know why. And like that proved my point in week 1. Even though they're basically rebuilding, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Miami won, which is good for them. Literally 2 straight divisional games. That's crazy. But it's gonna be in Miami as well. It's gonna be really interesting. Buffalo coming off of a very surprising week 1 loss. Like they played pathetic. And
I honestly didn't even see that much, but if you're if you're only scoring 16 points at home,
yeah. Like if people expect you to be like scoring like 30 to 40 points, I mean you are playing the Steelers defense, so it is understandable.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Steelers definitely caught everybody's eye more than the Bills did last week. But yeah, I do have Buffalo winning 35-27 against Miami. I think that it's going to be a really interesting game. Buffalo definitely wants to bounce back. This is a divisional game. They don't want to start off with Miami being 2-0 in their division while they're 0-1. So, yeah.
Exactly. This is huge because it's going to be between these two teams for the AFC East title. Bills, and that's what you're going to be. My prediction is that the Dolphins win this 32-20.
Really? Yeah.
Okay. And I like them at home. I think they got a stingy defense, and I don't know. I really like them at home at divisional game. This is like the second game of the week. This is the daytime game of the week because I think like Chiefs and Ravens are good because everyone wants to see Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. But if there's any other game that I would be most looking forward to watching, it's this game or the Cowboys at Chargers game.
Yeah.
Titans at Seahawks is also a good game as well. But this one is good. So I got the Dolphins winning 32-20. Like that seems like kind of a big difference, but it'll be closer than that the score line says.
Yeah, I just feel like Buffalo, like when they need to like they always need to play like very aggressive when they need to like win a game. Like I feel like this is gonna be one of those games that they're just like they're not gonna like screw around. They need to like win this game, and so is Miami. Like Miami definitely just deserves it as much as Buffalo does too. But yeah, I still think Buffalo will win. But that's interesting that you have Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. All right. Next game, we also have a AFC East divisional game. New England at the Jets.
Yeah, probably the worst game of the week. I have the Patriots winning, not letting the Jets get a single touchdown, but they're not going to score that much either. I'm going to say Patriots win easy, 20-9.
29. I have something similar, but I think it's going to be close. I think New England will win 20-17. But yeah, I don't know why. I like the Jets, like, overall team better than New England, but it's literally like Belichick. He knows what to do, even with this, like, so many, like, issues, maybe, so.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, last week I predicted that the Patriots would beat Miami at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, but if it wasn't for Damian Harris coughing up the ball, it would have happened. And like I was predicting that just because I am not the biggest believer in Tua. I do believe in him this week though. That's why I picked the Dolphins. But yeah, Belichick is known for making it really hard. I don't think Zach Wilson will be any different. But I get what you're saying though with like the Jets. Like I feel like the Jets are in almost as good of a situation as the Patriots are right now. As like a team, the Jets, Zach Wilson, like I don't think you can be complaining with like the weapons you have, like they're off, like they have Corey Davis, they have Jameson Crowder. I thought Mekhi Becton, which is a big, obviously.
Yeah, that is huge.
Yeah, and he blindside guy that sucks to lose, but I thought he was one of the best players here. So
Yeah.
they're not a bad team, but I don't see them beating the Patriots. I don't know. What was the last time?
I have no idea. Maybe like Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, the butt fumble, like before the butt fumble.
Before the butt. I have no idea. Did they even? Oh yeah, they didn't beat the Patriots last year because Jets are like one of the worst teams. But well, so were the Patriots. The Patriots weren't even that great either. So
No, they were not.
yeah, I mean now they don't have Cam Newton. Mac Jones actually he had a pretty surprising rookie debut. Like he played pretty well. I think he'll be. Yeah, I think he'll stay as QB1. I don't think that if the Patriots are to like sign another player or another quarterback, but I definitely think Washington might sign Cam Newton. You know, Ron Rivera. Cam Newton.
I mean, there's been a lot of speculation, but it's going to happen. But I see why, just because it's Ron Rivera and he's familiar with like the system. It's probably similar to Carolina.
Yeah, and plus, like, I mean, I don't see, I can't see Washington seeing that Cam Newton is better than Heineke right now. But I mean, his experience, like, in his relationship with Rivera might be something to like look at when, like, if they're trying to sign Cam Newton or something. But it's probably not going to happen. But you know, it's fun to speculate.
Yeah, and like a lot of people were talking about like, well, the past few years that the Patriots have not been good. Tom Brady hasn't had good weapons. Cam Newton didn't have good weapons this year, but the thing is, like, I don't know. He would have weapons if he played with us. You know, you would have Thomas. I like De'Ami Brown as like a young wide receiver on our team, but I don't know. I just don't trust Cam to be accurate with the ball. And Mac Jones last week, I thought his performance was as good as Cam Newton's best performances as the Patriots starter last year were.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I just feel like that says a lot. So
yeah, you can kind of clearly see which quarterbacks like running more than passing in this league. But yeah, I mean, Cam Newton, he is like basically a veteran quarterback now. He's been in the league for 10 years, I think. So,
yeah. Yep.
So yeah. All right. Anyways, next game, pretty easy game. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay's gonna have a field day with this. They're gonna win 41-16.
41-16. Yeah, I have a similar score line. I have the Bucks winning 38-17.
38-17. All right. There's not much to talk about here besides that. Atlanta, like, they don't care about their defense. They don't draft any defensive players. They don't, like, all they do is draft offensive players. Like, I mean, Kyle Pitts is a very good signing, but like, you gotta care about your defense, man. Like, I don't even know any starting defensive players on Atlanta, to be honest.
I just remember like the big names from when they went to the Super Bowl that year, and they were all like, I think, rookie or second years. What's up, Doug? How you doing, man? Good, bro. We had a terrible game.
Oh damn.
No, we lost horribly. So that was my friend. No, I was just saying about what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Atlanta. I just remember, when they made it to the Super Bowl that year, it was like 2016. They had all those young guys like Keanu Neal and Deion Jones and Grady Jarrett, but I feel like those were the last guys they drafted that are on their defense. I had not even thought about that. Like, why did you have to take Kyle Pitts? Why didn't you take, I don't know, a J.C. Horn, or I don't know. I mean, Kyle Pitts is a really good prospect, but
yeah, he's like one of those tight ends that you just cannot miss out on. But
they really like their skill players, I guess.
Yeah,
it seems.
I gotta give it to them for thinking that their offense can just do it.
Yeah, just stack up their offense.
Yeah,
I mean, that offense is still scary to go up against.
It is, yeah. Like even though they don't have Julio Jones anymore, like Calvin Ridley is there. He's the wide receiver 1. They have Kyle Pitts, like pretty young players, even though they don't have Julio Jones. But yeah, I don't like Atlanta in this game, like you said. Tampa Bay will get an easy win.
Yep. Let's do the Vikings at Cardinals.
Vikings at Cardinals. All right. Dude, I was so surprised. Actually, I wasn't surprised with Arizona winning over Tennessee. You had Tennessee winning over Arizona. I was like, I don't think so. And they literally played how I expected them to play. Like, bro, Chandler Jones 5 sacks. Like, I don't think we'll see that for a long time. Like a single game, like for one defensive player getting 5 sacks. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I to be honest, that's literally the first time I've heard about that this week because I didn't get to watch it. I didn't get to watch Red Zone much. I missed pretty much.
Wait, you didn't know that Chandler Jones got 5 sacks?
That he had 5 sacks. That is crazy.
Yeah, he got 5.
The NFL record, I think, is 7 in one game.
7.
I know that didn't Adrian Claiborne, when he was a Falcon, had it against I feel like several years ago. Yeah, that only happens once in a blue moon. I mean, to get if you get a sack or any
it was Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas had but I think
Adrian Claiborne got 6.
Yeah, he came close. Yeah, Derek Thomas was a linebacker for the Chiefs. I think it was against the Seahawks that he did that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Anyways, it was I mean, but here's the thing, like with the Cardinals, like I need to see them. I need to see them against more. If by week 3 they're still blowing out these teams, I have them winning against Minnesota 36-21. But if they do that again the next week, I don't know who they play next week, but regardless, then I'll be like, okay, because I felt like last year they were kind of inconsistent with
they did miss the playoffs last year too, but this year they pretty much have like the exact same players besides like signing like JJ Watt on defense. But yeah, I always had like this feeling that the Cardinals are gonna be like a very, very like insane team. Like they remind me of the Rams. I mean, they are in the same division. And like when we were predicting division winners last week, bro, like after seeing what happened this week and week 1, I'm just like I don't even know who to put at 4th in the NFC West. Like I had Seattle at 4, and they played darn good, bro, against the Colts. And then the Cardinals played phenomenal, Rams played phenomenal, and I forgot who's that 4th team. In the NFC West. Seattle.
San Francisco.
Yeah. San Francisco. Yeah, they're like I don't even know like how people can rank the NFC West, man. Like
it's gonna be close. Like we were talking about, like they could literally have everybody because of the new playoff format. They could have everybody in the division make it.
Yeah, and I would love to see all of the NFC West in the playoffs. But yeah, I have Arizona winning this game 30-24. I definitely think it's going to be a lot closer than it was last week. I think Minnesota is definitely going to want to, try to be like a competition to Arizona. But again, I like Kyler Murray. I like his offense. Like DeAndre Hopkins is still like one of the best receivers in the game. And plus, I think like those underground receivers, like Christian Kirk, is phenomenal as well.
Mm-hmm. He's a great slot receiver.
Yeah, very good.
Let's do Cowboys at Chargers. We got 4 more games left to go through.
But who do you have for Arizona and Minnesota?
I have Arizona winning 36-21.
36-21. All right.
With Cowboys at Chargers, I have the Chargers winning this one 33-26. I think Dak and Justin Herbert will both have really good games, probably over 300 yards passing, but I don't know that I feel like it could be even more than 33 with the Chargers score because losing to Marcus Lawrence on the defensive side, that sucks
that is really big
for Dallas. So.
I actually have the complete opposite. I have Dallas winning 33-27. Like you said, Chargers winning 33-26 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like Dallas played very good. Like Dak coming off of that big ankle injury out for like the rest of the year. Like having 400 yards in 4 quarters, like over 400 yards. That's he played really impressive. I think Dak is gonna have another good game. Although the Chargers don't have as good of a defense as Tampa Bay does, but like if Dak played like that against Tampa Bay, I think he can play even better against the Chargers. But that's might not be true. The Chargers are also a very interesting team defensively.
Yeah, I think I don't even know if the Chargers are like. You can't tell if they're like mid-tier defensively or like really good this year. I mean, with the return of Derwin James and Joey, but they still have Joey Bosa, and it's just you can't like tell yet. So, but I got something, and I just have like I think that the Chargers will be like we'll just be able to. They'll be able to stop Dak, but not too much. And I think Dak played better than Tom Brady did on opening night.
Yeah, and Tom Brady still played super good. So,
I knew right when they gave him like a minute and 40 left to do a 2-minute drill that they were gonna lose that game. To be honest.
Yeah, because he looked pissed. See the face. But yeah, that's one of the most interesting games tomorrow, Dallas and LA. But yeah, next game, let's do Detroit at Green Bay Monday night. Who do you have for that?
I have the Packers winning 41-23. I did say earlier that the Lions have a chance, but I want to give the Lions a chance, but then again, I was like, well, Green Bay, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, he's going to be frothing at the mouth from like probably one of the worst performances of his career last week. So I think he'll just come out guns blazing and they're just going to just run up the score against them and make Detroit look like Detroit. So,
the thing is, if Green Bay loses, like say if Aaron Rodgers plays like not that great, you can kind of clearly see that he doesn't want to be in Green Bay.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about that, like his attitude didn't look great at all.
Literally like Adam Sandler in the what's it called?
The Longest Yard.
Yeah, the longest yard.
When he was still in the game. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it literally reminds me of that. Like he could literally be insane on this team, but I mean he's gotta man up and just play. Like you have one more year in Green Bay. Like you can go to any team literally after. Like just have a good last year. Like you've won 1 Super Bowl with Green Bay, but you've lost like 5 NFC championships or something. Like I think 4 or 5.
4 NFC championships. Yeah. I think he'll get it together. I think he is like still a little. Although he wouldn't like to admit, it does look like it's still kind of bothering him how everything went down this offseason. But so man, I'm doing the podcast. So I just need to be in somewhere silent. I don't know if y'all were there. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot.
All right, no problem. What were we talking about? Shit.
Green Bay.
Oh yeah. I think because he'll like remember that like his legacy is on the line, and like think about it, like Green Bay are still like title contenders, whether like people like to admit it or not. So if they win, like if he wins the Super Bowl, that would still put him over a bunch of quarterbacks with one Super Bowl win.
Yeah, like Breeze,
Wilson, Mahomes, even though I think it's inevitable that Mahomes gets at least one more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he'll realize, just as a competitor, as somebody who's been at like the top of the foot for so long. He's the modern day football Mount Rushmore almost. He's like, I don't know. He'll get it together. So I feel like Lions and the Packers just going to run up the score against them 41-23.
41-23. I think Green Bay will win this 29-17. All right.
Let's do before game. The best game. No, we there's another one.
Which one?
Titans at Seahawks.
Oh yeah, Titans at Seahawks. I think the Seahawks will win this game again. After like playing another AFC South opponent. I think they'll win 26-23. I think Titans are definitely gonna try to bounce back. Titans do have they have a very stacked team. They just need to use it well. Like they could beat the Seahawks this game, but I do like the Seahawks. Their offensive front, like Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I definitely think it's better than right now, as if it's better than Tannehill, AJ Brown, Julio Jones. But yeah, and Julio Jones, he didn't do good at all last week, right?
I don't remember. I didn't hear anything about it. So yeah, he probably wasn't targeted much. I don't think like the Titans as a whole. I mean, if you lost 38-13 at home against the Cardinals, I mean the Cardinals are, there's no shame in losing to the Cardinals, but but at home, they should. The Titans are a better team than that. I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, you have the Seahawks.
I do have the Seahawks winning 27-20, so only a touchdown difference, just a slight change in the score. It's hard to win in Seattle, and
it is.
I was impressed by I know the Colts don't have the most explosive offense, and they are dealing with some injuries, but I was impressed by the Seahawks defense. I mean, 28-16. I can't remember the last time the Seahawks held their opponent under 20 points. So, we'll see if they are able to, if their front seven is able to shut down Derrick Henry, and if they can. But I agree. I think you'd rather have the Seahawks just have. You have a quarterback like Russell Wilson, and then you have weapons like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. That's just you're gonna be hard to beat on any given Sunday. Yeah, you'd have Wilson over Tannehill any day, and although DK Metcalf and AJ Brown are similar guys and they went to school together at Ole Miss, you'd still rather have DK Metcalf. And you don't really know what you're going to get from Julio nowadays. And Tyler Lockett is still one of the most underrated receivers in the league. So, because it's in Seattle and from a matchup standpoint, with their star players, I'm going to go Seattle. And then finally, Chiefs at Ravens.
Yeah, this is a game of the week probably. Lamar has never beaten Patrick Mahomes or even the Chiefs. This is one of those games that he's definitely going to want to come back and win after being humiliated on Monday Night Football, losing fumbling twice. And it's crazy though how Lamar has never gotten even 300 yards passing in 38 games, but Jalen Hurts has gotten that in just 3 games or something?
Five in 5 starts. He has 2 of them already. That's. I remember seeing that stat. I should have sent it to you, but I mean, you saw it. So.
That is very concerning, especially to Ravens fans. You don't know, even Joe Flacco can do over 300 yards, maybe even now if he were to play, you know. But Lamar Jackson, I mean, they do utilize him a lot as, you know, a runner, and he's one of those quarterbacks that just loves running. Like, even though, and plus he's gonna run even more now because of their running back situation. They're very crazy running back situation. I mean, they do have Latavius Murray now next to Tyson Williams as their two running backs. I think this is gonna be a really phenomenal game because the Chiefs are, you know, the Chiefs. I think it's gonna be a 1-point game. I do have Kansas City winning this game, 34-33. But yeah, I definitely think the Ravens will try to push very hard to win this game.
I like that scoreline. I have a very different scoreline though. I have the Chiefs winning 39-20.
Cool.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna kind of remind me about like opening night last year when Houston was at Kansas City, and you know they're kind of in it until, you know, just they can't stop Kansas City from scoring, and like you said, the injuries on Baltimore's side, it's going to be Lamar against the world out there. And he had, apart from those 2 fumbles, which were very costly, he had a really good game.
Yeah, he had a really good game. But it's just his passing is not, it's still not like that elite tier, you know, that people expect him to be. Like how Mahomes is there. Mahomes gets like 330 yards like every game, right? And he's played like he started like every game after like 2017 or something. So yeah, it's just I feel like Lamar will still have a good game, but it will be too much that like the Ravens defense will not be able to contain Kansas City's offense for too long, and Lamar by himself against Kansas City's defenses won't do much. So I just think it'll kind of be a game where the Chiefs are ahead and they just kind of pull away by kind of the third quarter. So that's why I have that. But definitely the most entertaining matchup. I mean, I'm glad it's Sunday night. Sunday Night Football is always the best. This is the best prime time. Sunday Night Football. This is Sunday Night Football?
Yeah.
Kansas City and Baltimore?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, I forgot. I was like, I thought this was like a 4:30 game or something.
With Jim Nantz and Tony on CBS.
Yeah, they just love putting them on every Chiefs game now. I remember Jim Nantz used to like commentate every Broncos game, but I don't see that anymore.
It's just because they're not.
Because the Chiefs are number one, so yeah.
Yeah, you get the.
Like maybe in the playoffs if we make the playoffs, but yeah. Oh man, dude, 8:30. That's crazy, dude. I'm actually excited now. I thought that was a 4:30 game or something. But yeah, in prime time again. I think, yeah, like every Chiefs and Ravens game has been like prime time. Like last year was 2, Chiefs won. But yeah.
I hope it's closer than I think it is, and like how we were saying earlier, the primetime games have been really good this year, but
they have.
I'm just gonna predict that it's gonna be 39-20. All right, let's do
power rankings.
Power rankings.
Yeah, let's finish this episode off with power rankings. Again, the rankings have changed a lot. A lot from week 1, but it definitely can change again. Some teams that we ranked very low this week can definitely go super high next week. Like, we don't know. But yeah, starting at 32, I already know who you have, Jacksonville, right?
No, I don't. I actually have New York.
Oh, the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the Jets. I have them at 31. I have the Giants at 30, actually.
Wow.
But it's probably going to change next week since they played pretty well Thursday night. But yeah, 32, Jacksonville, 31, Jets, 30s, Giants. What about you? Who's your 30 and 31?
I have Jacksonville, so we just have to switch on 32 and 31, and then I have Detroit at 30.
Okay. Wow,
But
really?
I think I cheated a little bit with like the Giants because I made this yesterday after Thursday Night Football. So
Yeah.
I think the Giants would have been a bit lower if I made this, on Tuesday after the all week 1 games were over. But I did like what I saw from New York and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones play like that every game. I know you can't always play like that, but
Yeah.
he saw his potential. That's probably one of the best games of his career, if not the best game.
Yeah, probably.
So,
all right. Let's just say our 29 to our 23. I'm gonna go first. I'll have I put Atlanta at 29. They moved down 4 spots from their previous ranking. I put New England at 28. they moved down 11 spots from their previous ranking. Houston's at 27. They moved up 5 spots. Detroit is at 26. I like how they played, how they came back. They moved up 5 spots. Indianapolis is at 25. I might have put them a little lower, but they went down 12 spots from that from last week. Minnesota's at 24. They moved down 5 spots. Chicago's at 23. They're in the same spot. I put Washington at 22 after week 1.
Oh, how dare you! I gave Denver a generous position too.
Washington, they moved up really good though this next week though, so yeah, be looking forward to that. But Washington is at 22 after week 1. They moved down 4 spots. Carolina is at 21. They moved up 3 spots. Oh wait, I said 29 to 23, but I did 29 to 21. But you go ahead.
Oh, you did 29 to 21. I'll do that too. So 29, I have Houston. I was impressed by Tyrod Taylor's performance. I know the Jaguars don't have great defense, but they won a divisional game at home. Tyrod Taylor's he knows what he's doing. So I don't think. I mean, of course, you'd rather have Deshaun Watson, but we'll see. We'll see if they can put up a good fight against the Browns. 28-27, I have Atlanta, Minnesota, respectively. I think they're kind of in the same boat. They both are just very disappointing for like the talent that they have offensively. Both terrible defenses, but on any given Sunday, they can definitely beat anybody. So, 26, I have New York, and like I said, this was after Thursday Night Football. They'd probably be like 29 or 30, if not. 25, I have Cincinnati. I think they're going to go up after, I predict them to go 2-0. 24, I have Chicago. 23, Denver. 22, Carolina. And 21, Philly.
21, Philly. All right. From my 20 to my 15. So I put Philadelphia at 20. They moved up 8. I put Cincinnati at 19. They really surprised me. They went up 8 as well. At 18, you know who I have at 18? I have Baltimore at 18.
Wow, I've had Baltimore drop significantly for me as well, but not that far.
Yeah, they moved down 18. I mean, again, after week 1, you can basically put teams in like whatever spot because like they lost or they won, but yeah, it's probably gonna change. I mean, power rankings, I definitely shouldn't do it off of like losing. It's definitely off of like how well you play. But they still did play pretty well, so I might be reaching over here. But yeah, I have them at 18. I put Miami at 17. They moved down 1 spot. I put Green Bay at 16. They moved down 13 spots. They played horrible. So yeah, like putting Green Bay at 16 is definitely something that I would consider more than putting Baltimore at 18 because of their performance. But yeah, and then at 15 I have the Chargers. They moved up 6 spots. What about you?
You went to 15, you said?
Yeah, 20-15.
Okay, 20-15. 20, I have New England. 19, I have Dallas. Still, like, they're just...
Okay.
Dak being probably a top 7 quarterback. Top 8, top 7 quarterback. God, that hurts me to say.
Dude, I was
like I'm thinking about Brandon right now.
Bro, me and Balaj were having a debate. I was like, you know, Dak is a top 10 quarterback. He was like, no, he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's maybe a top 15 quarterback, but he's not top 10. I was like, watch him play really good against the Buccaneers, and he exactly did that. I was like, bro, you gotta respect him at least, like, in the top 10.
Put some respect on. No, he looked so good against the Bucs. For you know, people raising questions about his injury and his shoulder, which is really important in the throwing motion. You know, that's nothing to. It's not like he just dislocated his finger or something, but he looked really good. He was slinging it. They were driving down easily on a really good Bucs defense. So, yeah, I have them at 19. 18, I have Las Vegas. 17, I have Indianapolis. Even though I think they're going to be 0-2 after this week, I think they'll turn it around. The AFC South is not as good as it once was, especially since Deshaun Watson without. And, I mean, Tennessee might be 0-2 after this week as well. So, Miami, I have at 16. And then my Washington football team at 15.
15, all right. That's respectable. So 14.
Go all the way to your 1.
Go all the way to my 1. All right.
Yeah, I want to.
At 14, I have the Raiders. At 13, I have Denver because they really impressed me. I know that's pretty biased, but I was really happy, and I was like, nah, dude, I think we're a top 15 team right now. But yeah, Denver is at 13. I put Dallas at 12. Because they played phenomenal as well, even though they lost.
How dare you put Dallas
over Washington?
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah. You know we're gonna win the division, right?
I don't know, dude. It's I think that there's a competition now that Dallas is like starting to become alive again. But anyways, I put Tennessee at 11. They moved down 2 spots. Cleveland, okay, top 10. Cleveland's at 10. Buffalo is at 9. Arizona's at 8. Pittsburgh is at 7. San Francisco is at 6. New Orleans is at 5. Seattle is at 4. The Rams are at 3. Kansas City's at 2, and Tampa Bay's at 1.
What is your 5, you said?
New Orleans.
Wow. Yeah, we have very different.
All right,
I thought we had identical top 4. But I'll get to that. So 14, I have Baltimore, just because of the injury concerns, and it's just going to be Lamar against the world out there. Poor guy. 13, I have Tennessee. 12, I have Green Bay. I think with Green Bay, like, you still have Aaron Rodgers, but 8 points to a team with a new quarterback and without Michael Thomas. I know they have Alvin Kamara, but I don't know. I just think and I know that the Green Bay offense probably wasn't doing them any favors by playing so inefficiently, and putting their defense on the field a lot. So it might have been inevitable if they scored a lot of points, but I don't know. Green Bay's defense doesn't look great to me. And 11, Arizona. 10, I have San Francisco. 9, I have Pittsburgh. 8, I have New Orleans Saints. And then my surprise, number 7, I have the LA Chargers.
Okay.
And then 6, I have Cleveland. 5, Buffalo. And then 4, Seattle. 3, Los Angeles, just like you. But I have Kansas City at number 1 and Tampa Bay at 2, solely because Kansas City. Actually, not so much Kansas City. I think just Tampa Bay with defense. Losing Sean Murphy punting That'll be hard for them. I don't know. I think it will take that Dean kid who was up against Amari Cooper on opening night. It'll take some time for him to step into that cornerback 2 role there. He was getting torched a lot. They were targeting him. So we'll see. But that's why I have Tampa Bay at 2. It's just gonna go back and forth between these teams.
Like power rankings are very, very like weird the first few weeks, so yeah, it's understandable. All right, but I guess that's it for week 2. Thank you guys for tuning in. Whoever's listening, I appreciate you. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week for week 3. I'll see you later, Cameron.
See you later. Thanks, man.
All right, bye, man.
Peace.